Sheffield United, they have had an absolutely unbelievable start to the Championship season, and after last night's emphatic win away at Bristol City, going 1-0 down and eventually winning the game in the 98th minute, they just keep winning. Only 2 defeats in the opening 14 league matches so far this season. They've won 3 league games on the bounce, only conceded 7 goals all season as well. Chris Wilder's team absolutely flying so far this season, but we're going to have a deeper dive into why they have been so successful. Let's get into it. We'll start out firstly then with last season, a season that Sheffield United fans probably won't want to relive, so we will not waste too much time on this, but obviously they finished bottom of the table. They only won 3 of 38 Premier League matches last season. They conceded 104 goals and finished on a minus 69 goal difference. They were 16 points away from safety. I guess the fact they still accumulated 16 points goes to show how bad that Derby County side was when you factor in how poor Sheffield United were, but we all knew a rebuild was needed, and a lot of business happened in the summer, didn't it? We look at some of the players who left the football club, at Cameron Archer, but his transfer move was very bizarre, wasn't it, with the fact he went back to Aston Villa with a buyback clause and then went to Southampton permanently. A little bit of FFP dodginess going on there. Obviously, they lost William Asula, young striker, got a decent fee in for him. Trusty as well went over to Celtic. I wasn't really a fan of Jayden Bogle, so to get around £5 million in for him was pretty solid. And then they got some of the more experienced players off the wage bill as well, the likes of Ollie McBurney, Ollie Norwood, Ben Osborne. We also saw the likes of Wes Fodringham, Daniel Jebberson, John Egan, Chris Basham, all these sort of players leave the football club, and Jordan Amisa came on trial with my team Bradford City, I'm pretty sure, in the summer. In terms of their recruitment then, they went down a completely different route and they signed some very good young talent. Harrison Burrows won the League One Young Player of the Season last year. Going forward was absolutely excellent. The amount of goals and assists that he got were absolutely incredible for the Porsche last campaign. We saw his finish as well last night in the 98th minute, and he jumps into the away end to celebrate with the fans. That is what football is all about. Michael Cooper, he's undoubtedly one of the best goalkeepers in the Championship, so to get him in for around £2 million is absolutely crazy. Kiefer Moore as well, proven goal scorer at this level. Carol Mohair did very well with Coventry. Tyrese Campbell as well did well with Stoke. Jamie Shackleton has now got more experience at Championship level under his belt. Harry Suter comes in on loan from Leicester, who's proven to be very good in this league in years gone past. Rak-Saki came in with a lot of hype and prospect after being brilliant with Charlton Athletic a couple of seasons ago, but hasn't quite hit the ground running so far with Sheffield United. Obviously, they let a few players go out on loan as well. And yes, some of these signings look good, but when you factor in how bad Sheffield United were last season, the amount of goals that they conceded, 104 goals compared to just the 7 that they have conceded. I know we're not a full season in, but over the course of a full season, what are they going to concede? About 20-25 goals at the absolute maximum. That is unbelievable considering the turnaround. I know it's a division below, but there's got to be some sort of praise given here to Chris Wilder for what he has managed to achieve so far with that defensive structure at Sheffield United. Before we do go any further though with today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 60 likes on today's video? That would be massively appreciated. And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. Where do you see Sheffield United finishing at the end of this season? So let's have a deeper dive into last night's emphatic last gasp win away at Bristol City, who are a pretty decent Championship side. I know they are currently probably around mid-table, like what they always are, 11th in the table, but you'd expect them to be pretty solid at home. And if we have a look then in a little bit more detail at Sheffield United, with the way that they go forward, a lot of their play is in the wide areas, but it's balanced down the right-hand side and down the left-hand side. You look at the fullbacks, the likes of Harrison Burrows and Alfie Gilchrist, who played last night. I think Gilchrist is much better defensively and Burrows is much better going forward, but Sheffield United have that trust in their team to go down either side, and obviously they have that output as well going through the middle if they need them to. In terms of where they're getting their shots off, a lot of them coming down the middle. 82% of their chances fell through the middle last night, which is important. I think it's got to be at least over 70%. Obviously, when your shot is down the middle, you got more of the goal to aim at, so it gives you a better chance of scoring. So to create 82% of your shots through the middle is very positive signs for Sheffield United. In terms of their shots as well, 36% of them being inside the 18-yard box and 9% of them being inside the 6-yard box as well. You would like them percentages to be a little bit higher. 55% outside of the box isn't amazing when you are having 11 shots, but I still do think to have 45% of your total shots inside at least the 18-yard box is positive signs as well. In terms of the action, a lot of it in the middle of the pitch, but in terms of which team was in the opposition's final third more, Sheffield United were in the Bristol City final third more, which I think again is really positive. And in terms of the average positions, now I think in League 2 and League 1 the structure is much more important, but in the Championship you tend to see players free roam and all that sort of stuff. Bristol City, you can clearly see their back four, then the rest of it is a complete mystery. Sheffield United, from that you probably couldn't really work out what formation they were playing. I think they were playing a 4-4-1-1, but like what I was saying about Burrows and Gilchrist, you can see Gilchrist barely got out of his own half, but Burrows was really high up the pitch. He was probably the fourth most advanced player for Sheffield United, and he's playing left back. You look at the midfield as well, this is meant to be a 4 across with 2 wingers, but they come in centrally, they get close to the striker, they get in and around him, and that is what I like about Sheffield United. They create so many chances through the middle, have more of the goal to aim at, like what I was saying, and that comes down to Chris Wilder and what he's building at Sheffield United. We know about the quality of Gustavo Hamer. He was one of their few shining sparks in the Premier League last season, and he proved that Coventry City, he is a very good player. You see how close he is getting to the striker, who I think was Tyrese Campbell last night. And in terms of the most shots, he had the joint most shots in the entire match last night, the most for Sheffield United as well, which I think again is really positive signs. Vinny Souza had a really good game yesterday. But another example of just how good this Sheffield United team is was the away trip to Blackburn Rovers, who have had a pretty positive start to the season. Recently have fallen off a little bit, just 1 win in their last 5, but they are only 2 points off the playoffs at the moment. So to go away from home against Blackburn, keep another clean sheet and pick up all 3 points again is brilliant stuff. But again, we look at the chances they created. 20 shots away from home is brilliant. The balance of play going down at both sides in this game was actually slightly more down the right hand side, which I think again really positive signs for Sheffield United, because it's all well and good getting results, but if your performances aren't there over the long term, then results will slowly fall off. But the performances are there for Sheffield United. They've got their performances to back up the results. In terms of the shot direction as well, 85% of them coming down the middle once again. You look at Blackburn, just 56%. The comparison is clearly there for all to see. Again, 70% of the shots totaling at least inside the 18-yard box, but 15% inside the 6-yard box. Again, massive positive signs for Sheffield United. Again, a lot of the play in the middle, but if it's to be balanced between either side, the ball was more in that Blackburn Rovers area as well. And again, in terms of the average positions, there's a little bit more structure to this one. You can see 2, 6, 19 and 14 are the defenders. I would assume at 9 was the striker. Is 10 a striker as well? 10 is actually Callum O'Hare. 7 is Ryan Brewster, who is a striker, and you see how deep he's dropping in to receive the ball to allow someone like Rak-Saki to get higher up the pitch. He's a player that I rate very highly, and you need to get him in advanced forward areas, and he, over the course of the game, was the furthest player up the pitch for Sheffield United, while Kiefer Moore was dropping in a little bit more. Blaster as well, one of the best young players in the entire division. And obviously number 21 is Vinny Souza, who links up all the play very nicely. They've got a very good squad. They can play a 4-5-1, a 4-4-1-1, a 4-4-2, and it works with Sheffield United. They've got a very good squad, and I do expect them to be promoted this season up back into the Premier League. Do I think they'll do it automatically? I guess only time will tell. But thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon for another one.